Well, hello and welcome back to the Hawthorns Curry Kitchen. I'm doing a DIY version tonight because Sandy's out walking the dogs. So I'm trying to cook a nice chicken biryani and a side order of veg curry for our Saturday evening meal. And hopefully I have it ready for when she gets back. So I thought I'd share it with you. And here we go. So for chicken biryani, it's a fairly dry dish. It's marinated chicken thighs I'm using here today. It's in a yogurt mix with some paprika and turmeric and a little bit of chili. Into that we are going to be putting some garlic, fresh ginger and 4 green chilies. The spices in this one, we got some cumin seeds, a spoonful of cumin seed, 4 or 5 green cardamoms, and then we got some ground coriander as well. Into which we'll put onions, tomatoes and some saffron which has been soaked in some warm milk. So here we go. I'll start off. First of all, I put in the whole spices into the warmed oil. Give that a wee stir. Let the spices or the oils in the spices come through. So forgive me whilst I try to operate the cooker as well. It's all new learning curve for me at the moment. So once the spices have infused for a couple of minutes, I'll put in the onions, and then we need to fry those off and soften them up and get a little bit of colour into those as well. So that's where we're at the moment. So into the oil goes the onions. So we're in for at least another 3 weeks of this lockdown, so I hope you're all keeping as positive as possible. I've had great fun the last 2 days sorting out my loft, throwing away bits and pieces of paperwork from many years ago. So that's one job out of the way that I've never really found time to do before. Just keeping ourselves fairly sort of buoyant and happy, really. So hopefully everybody else has managed to keep the same, and as soon as these 3 weeks are over, let's hope the pubs will be open fairly shortly after that, but you don't know at the moment. I hope the main thing really is to keep safe and keep well and enjoy what you can out of these very strange times that we find ourselves in. So the onions are starting to brown and give a nice bit of colour. The smell is lovely as usual, but I'll wait on for a second or two more there. For the veg curry that I'm going to be doing as well, I'm using broccoli and cauliflower, some carrots and some spinach. So I'll get a pan on the go for that as well. I know you're amazed, multitasking as well today. So a bit of oil into there, let that warm through. So the sliced onions in the biryani is still a bit hard, got to cook them a bit more. So into the veg curry, I've chopped up a couple of onions, and there's 4 cloves of garlic in there. So I'm putting those in there to soften up there. There's also 2 chopped chilies in there as well. So that's the starter for that one. So into the onions for the biryani, the chopped pieces of chicken meat marinated in the yogurt go in there now. So the yogurt is going to provide a bit of sauce with it, and so is the saffron milk at the end. Oh, very good. Sizzling away, which is exactly what we wanted to happen. Unfortunately, I can't move it around because I've got you pinned up on the wall there, but not a worry. Anyway, so that's the chicken and the yogurt and the onions going in there now, as well as the cumin seeds and the cardamom pods. And I'll let that cook down for a little bit more. Meanwhile, over here is the veg curry. We've got the onions, ginger, garlic and green chilies cooking away. The spice mix that I've got for the veg curry today is cumin seeds, garam masala, chili, turmeric, a little bit of black pepper. So that's the basic, and a bit of coriander in there as well, sorry. So anyway, that's going into the softened onions. Cook that through. I hope I'm not confusing two things by cooking two things at the same time. Anyway, the chicken now is nicely sealed. So into that I'm going to put the ginger, the garlic and the green chilies. And also the chopped tomatoes. So I'm going to put a lid on that now and let that cook through. Would you believe she's beaten me to it? She's back already with the dogs. Not to worry. It won't be more than about 20 minutes and she'll be able to eat. Foiled again. So in the vegetable curry, I've got the onions, garlic and ginger, all sweated down with the spices. I'm going to add a little bit of corporation stock, or some boiling water into that. And into that I'm going to put secret ingredients. If I can find it. A veggie stock cube. So, back to the biryani. That's all nicely steaming away. I need to soften those tomatoes down, and then once I've got those softened down I'll put a little tomato puree in it, and then we'll go through the process of layering it up with the rice and the saffron and the garam masala, which makes the specific type of curry it is, which is a rice dish really. Now into the veg curry sauce, I'm going to put a spoonful of tamarind paste, which will give it a lovely, slightly sweet and sour sort of tang to it. A pinch of salt. And I'll just let that reduce a little bit till the onions are cooked out, then I'll add the vegetables to it. I like doing it that way around. It just means that the veg doesn't overcook. So that's that. Back to the biryani. Now I'm going to put a little bit of tomato puree in there, which will help thicken it a bit. About a tablespoonful should be enough. This should easily feed about 4 people. Which means Sandy and I will have another meal out of this later on. Our freezer's getting nicely filled up with all these dishes I'm cooking for you. And at this point, I'll put in the ground coriander. And I'm going to put the lid back on there and let that steam away for a little bit longer. So, I'm just going to put into the veg sauce the mixed vegetables. For convenience, I'm using a frozen pack. And in these times, of course, it's easier if you've got things in stock. So I'm using that up there. Once that comes out of the boil, I'll put the spinach into it. And that will be pretty much done. Which time I'm going to layer up the biryani. So someone's laughing at me now as I'm missing my lines here. So just to recap what we had in the biryani. This is also a really good dish for using up leftovers. You've got any leftover lamb, marinate it in a little bit of yogurt with the paprika and turmeric and a little bit of chili, and then go through the same process. It makes a lovely dish as well. So that's a really good one to use up leftovers. So we had 4 onions sliced up. We had 6 cloves of garlic. We had 2 inches of ginger. We had 4 tomatoes chopped. And the spices was a tablespoon of cumin seeds, 4 or 5 cardamom pods, tablespoon of coriander. That's all that went into it. And now we are going to layer it up with some rice. For this bit, the next bit, we're going to turn it right down so we don't burn the rice. And the idea is to have layers and it should absorb some of that. I'm using cooked rice because I'm doing a quick, easy version of it. So I'm using cooked rice and we're trying to keep the layers together as we go along. Just checking that the chicken's cooked before I go any further. Yeah, that looks good, so I'm going to just flatten that all off, and then we're going to use spoon to spoon out the cooked rice I've got here. So I put in half the rice to start with, spread that all over the top, and the idea is to get the flavours. So the rice is over the top there. Onto that I'm going to put the fresh mint and coriander leaves. All that. And then a little bit of the garam masala. So sprinkling garam masala. And the other important ingredient is the saffron milk, to give colour, flavour and aromatics to the rice. Then we put in another layer of rice, spread that all over the top again so it's nice and evenly distributed, and once again some fresh coriander and mint leaves around it, like so. Some garam masala. And the rest of the saffron milk. Gives it a really aromatic flavour. So we turn that right down low, put the lid on, and we leave that now whilst I finish off the veg curry, which conveniently has come to the boil and is looking rich and lovely, as I hope it will be. Into which I'm now going to put my fresh spinach leaves. So to recap what went in the veg curry then, there was 2 onions diced, 2 green chillies, 4 cloves of garlic, a spoonful of tamarind, and the spices was garam masala, turmeric, ground cumin and coriander. So that's that. There we go. That is tonight's meal. It's a lovely chicken biryani with vegetable curry, and I'll serve it with the usual accompaniments of mango chutney, lime pickle, writers, whatever. It's one of those dishes that you stick in the middle of the table and everyone has a little pick at. So I hope you enjoy it. All the best now. Take care.